And welcome back, floorball fans, to the final game of the evening where we have the men's bronze medal game of the Floorball Canada National Championships. We have a rematch of our first game this morning, kind of ironic, between Team Nova Scotia and Team Quebec. Unlike this morning, the teams will be going in the opposite directions to start, with Team Nova Scotia moving left to right in the white and blues, and Team Quebec moving right to left in the red with the black shorts.
Team Quebec has been getting stronger as the tournament has been going on. Carl, we've talked about that. And Nova Scotia, they don't deserve to be in this game, to be honest. A 5-5 tie against Ontario, which should have been a win for them, and gets knocked down to the bronze medal game on goal differential. This young team has really played well, and they'll be looking to pick up at least a third place finish. But don't let this veteran Quebec team, they're not going to roll over and just say, we'll finish fourth. So this will be a good battle.
No, I agree. I think it's going to be a good one. I think having played each other earlier this morning too, you're going to see maybe a tiny bit of animosity, and maybe that works in Quebec's favor.
Goaltenders again will be the same. Landry in goal for Quebec, and goaltender McCauley between the pipes for Nova Scotia.
Good to have you back, by the way, Stu. Fun to have little Stu around, but we started the morning this way, we should finish this way.
Yeah, I had some paperwork I had to get done. Lots of responsibilities around an event like this, so appreciated him jumping in for a game and saving my voice a little bit.
Well, and he covered me while I had to go get my pizza delivered, so that helped too.
Couple big games tomorrow. The women's third and final game. First thing tomorrow at 9 a.m. and then the gold medal game between BC and Ontario at 10:30, and then our second qualifier game. So,
and that wraps up our Sunday with that one.
Half of what we did today, so it'll be an easy day for us.
Hopefully, yes. Our referees are the same, Jasoni and Rich. We'll see how it goes here.
DuPont and Field will take the face-off.
Nova Scotia starting their top five with Wolf, Field, Bordage, Tam, and one of the Lee brothers. Quebec counters with Dupont, Rivet, Perron up front, Laporte, and Godot at the back. Nova Scotia striking, or not striking first, but moving the ball forward first. Godin, and ball out, and we have Team Nova Scotia free hit in the Quebec corner here. Bordage and Wolf in the corner here. Wolf is going to go down to Bordage. Fires it on the net. Goes a little wide. Back to Wild there, or Fields there. Tam, who's turned into quite the quarterback at this tournament. It's amazing how much of a difference he made over the first two games back here he had in comparison to the Nova Scotia's first game without him.
And you wonder too, Carl, if Nova Scotia had Tam and Field for their first game against BC.
That's probably a different game.
Yeah, maybe it's a tie, maybe it's a win against them. And again, we're not talking about them playing in this game.
Bright future ahead for this young team, as you mentioned. Godin breaking out here now after taking the ball off Bordeaux. He puts it down to Rivet, but he loses it to Lee in the corner. Lee moves it over to Tam as Oliveira moves towards him. Quebec's forecheck looking like it's going to be a little more aggressive, similar to their last game played against Team BC, where they almost managed to get the W away from the now 3-0 BC squad.
Olivier's pass just behind Quiron as he was breaking in.
Kerr takes advantage of a bad change from Team Nova Scotia, puts it down to Quiron. He's got Oliveira in front. We go back to Abba. He tries to go up the wall, but it's picked by Curry. He's looking for McQueen. Oh, we have a stick infraction and a free hit for Nova Scotia. McQueen gets some motion on the play there, blocked by Abbott. Curry takes a swing at it, comes to the back of the net. Landry picks that up. It's picked off by Robichaud, but he's got Oliveira and Cuiron on top of him. Frankman putting it forward to Abba there. He's got some time. He goes to the middle. Kerr can't corral it. Robichaud brings it back and tries to reset, but Oliveira doesn't want to give him the time, so he moves it to Curry. He's got Kerr and Oliveira on. Turns it over to Oliveira. Tried to get a shot off, but I don't think he had the feel that he wanted, so he made a pass instead, but Nova Scotia has it now. Curry dumps it in deep and gets a change. Frankman goes behind his own net and lets his own squad reset as well.
He's also catching his breath. And now he'll go off on a change.
Bernard is joined by Cadigo on defense for Quebec. We're 3 and change into this first period here, and the chess match that is this game has started to develop. Advantage to Bernard. Right. Has a look. Right. Manages to carry it down into the far end. He's got one of the Wolf brothers on him. And a Bordage. Baker loses it to Carrier. Carrier tries to put it out in front, but it hits McCauley in the arm. It ends up on Paul Mycrest's stick. Has a look, goes back to Verdun. He goes up to the middle. It's over to Right now. Right makes a dip. Shot on net, and McCauley reels that in, and then tries to break Macmillan out, but he unfortunately got himself turned around, and Godin comes up with it.
Quebec almost got caught with too many players there as Laporte jumped on a little early too.
And we've had one of those today.
Against Montreal.
Yeah. Oh, nice save. Laporte comes up with it. Tries to corral it, but runs into Field. Field takes a shot, but it's blocked by Carrier. Wolf knocks that down. Field again. Being dogged by Laporte here. Field tries to throw it back out in front, but it flubs off his stick here. Bordage now in the corner with Carrier on top of him. Bordage keeping it low here. Brings it back up to Wolf. Handcuffed Wolf a little bit there. He goes back down to Bordage. Bordage, the shot, and that goes just wide.
Nice sweep shot there as he tried to walk out and pick the corner, and just too much English on it.
Yeah, a little. That's the word I was looking for earlier today, was too much English. Field thought that was going in, I think. Oh, 2 balls on the floor here. TV timeout. Laporte going to take the free hit. Goes to Godin. He looks for Dupont, but it's out of his reach. Tam back up to Bordage. He's got Rivet coming in on him. Godin with the stick check. Ref calls advantage, and there's the whistle.
Free hit for Nova Scotia.
Bordage.
Just outside the 3-point line.
Drops it for Field. He loses it. Somehow comes away with it. Shot is blocked by Laporte. Wolf spins, fires it into the nothingness of the middle. It ends up with Dupont to Perron. He tries to find Rivet, but it's knocked away by Tam. Perron with it now. He's got Lee all over him. Dupont comes in to help. He comes out with it. He gets it through the wickets to Laporte. Blocked by Bordage. Dupont tries again. Bordage comes away with it. He tries to spring Wolf, but Laporte's there. He goes over to Dupont. He goes to the middle and ends up on Laporte's stick. Blocked by the back of Rivet's legs. We're going to have a Nova Scotian free hit.
Good pressure for Team Quebec. Lots of chances there, but Laporte shot into his own player. Probably wasn't what he was planning to do. Over on the bench there, Kirk Wright going for a walk, trying to stretch out. Think he might have tweaked something.
Lee gives the ball back to Quebec there, as there seems to be some sort of confusion about who it went off of. Ball comes out in front to Perr. He puts it wide. Oliveira behind the net now with Lee. Tam pulls it off of his stick. Brings it back. Oliveira on him though. Tam over to his partner Lee. Lee back to Tam. Tam trying to go along with it to Carrier. or Kerrigan, sorry. Carriers on the Quebec team. Lightning McQueen was trying to find Curry. He does have it, but it wasn't exactly given to him. We have a stick infraction and a free hit for Nova Scotia. McQueen.
Robichaud trying to sneak in back door.
Almost does. Lee.
McQueen couldn't get him. Tried to take the shot, I think, and go for the rebound instead of trying the pass.
Oh. We have a stick infraction on Oliveira, and Lee comes away with the free hit. Back to Robichaud, Lee. As Oliveira gives chase. Kieran tries to step up on him. Kerrigan goes back to Curry, into Lee. He tries to find McQueen in front of the net. Knocked away by multiple Quebec defenders. Lee taking his time and has it stolen by Kieran, given to Pear. Oliveira is on the far side. Or sorry, Kieran from Pear originally. He tries to find Kieran, and he tries to find Pear. Shot is blocked by Curry and ends up in the corner as the Quebec team looks to change here. As a full sail, and once again, Nova Scotia waits as well.
You think in a game like this, after you mentioned that they both played at 9 a.m. this morning, it would favor Nova Scotia being the younger legs, but it was a good rush there by Quiron as he went to the outside and beat Curry. Tried to make the pass across, but good burst of speed that you wouldn't expect from this older Quebec team.
I think it comes from playing shorthanded for all those years with Montreal FC. Someone showing up to tournaments with 8 guys and somehow making the finals against the full Cambridge or Ottawa squad. Shreve behind the net here. He goes to his partner, Wolf. Wolf being stepped up on by Mike Creston right. Decides it's okay to turn back and try again. His partner, Shreve, he goes to Bordage. Into Wolf in the middle. Nice run there. McMillan couldn't get his stick on it. Wright tries to get it out here. Bordage gains possession on the free hit. Landry pulls that in. And
Good
gives
hands
the
by
ball
Landry
over.
there. McMillan with the rebound. Kind of floating through the air, and Landry able to grab it. Hang on, no rebounds.
Laporte now finds Wright. He spins into the middle. Tries to get the shot off, but it's blocked by Baker's stick. Perron with Shreve all over him. Shreve comes out with the ball. Now Perron's all over him. He goes to Wolf. Wolf turns up his own side. Cuts to the middle. Inside out on Dupont. Fields takes over. Manages to get by Laporte. Tries to drop it for Wolf, but not enough mustard on it. Field back to Bordeaux. Blocked. Wolf down low to Field. Blocked again. Wolf trying to corral the bouncing ball. It ends up in his corner as him and his brother are both out there against Perron. Into the far corner, Godin. Manages to beat Wolf there. Dupont steps into the boost ball, loses it. Wolf fires that high and wide.
And Wolf looks at the sky after he misses that great opportunity. Found himself alone in front. Tried to put it in the top corner and just over the bar.
Tam steps up on Rivet. Lee corrals it for a half a second and then loses again. Wolf kicks it forward, only to have Godin poke it away. Field tries to get the shot off, but it goes into Laporte's stick. Laporte trying to find Dupont. He gets half a shot off. Macaulay makes 2 quick saves there as he fumbled it. And now Wolf back the other way with Dupont hot on his tail. Dupont manages to get the ball off of Wolf. He goes far side to Laporte. Laporte back to Dupont. Blocked by Lee. Kirion off the bench. Kicks the stick of the Nova Scotian defender Lee and earns Nova Scotia a free hit. Very quick first 10 minutes have gone by here as we've only got 5 minutes left in this first period.
And no goals for either team yet. Both teams have had their chances, just not able to finish.
Frankman pokes that ahead. Tam steps up on it. Looking for an in. Stop, spin, turn, shoot, scores! And Stu, you speak, and it happens. That's like the third time today where you've commented on a lack of scoring or a certain player not getting on the board, and about 30 seconds later it seems to come true. So I'm thinking Team Canada wants you to speak more tomorrow.
Nice play by Tam as he cut in, spun, and shielded the ball, and I think Landry lost sight of it for a sec, and then it was off his stick and right into the back of the net.
I'm going to miss this goal song tomorrow. I'll give them that. Matt Smith down there on ball duty, making sure we have enough to keep playing this tournament. Oliveira and Curry on the draw. Curry wins, but it's almost like Oliveira wanted that, as he's right on top of Lee.
I have noticed that a lot of times.
Oh, off their post.
Centers will do that. They'll let the other center win, knowing that they're just going to jump through. Cedric Grenepen likes to do that.
I've noticed that from him and Flo. And we have Frank Julien back on the mic and the soundboard to end the night. Very fitting for a bronze medal game. That we got the crew back together here in the booth. McQueen holds up, trying to give it to Curry. It's one back, but Frankman's there, not Kerrigan. He gives it to Oliveira. Comes flying in, long shot, stopped by McCauley, but a big rebound is collected by Oliveira off the stick of Kerrigan. Robichaud is on top of him, Lee. Robichaud's on the other side, marking Kirion. Ball comes out to Oliveira. He's got multiple white and blue shirts around him. He feeds it through the legs of Curry. Finds Kirion, but he just couldn't control it. And we have a free hit, because that's all stick contact from Kirion on
Montreal or Quebec wouldn't have been very happy if that goal had gone in and it got blown down for a stick infraction behind the net.
No, but that was the right call. Wolf to Schrem. Back to Wolf. Tries to go up the middle with it, sort of gets through to Bordage, but there's Carriere with it now. He goes to right, it goes in between his legs. He puts it in deep for Carriere, who's got Shreve all over him. Wright comes out with the ball, Baker on top of him, and Wolf. He goes back to Carriere. Carriere tries to go across, but no one's there. Wolf chops it, and unfortunately it goes out of him, and Quebec has a free hit with Mycroft in the corner. He puts it on net and makes McCauley make the save. Right down low still. Looking for Catagel, doesn't think he has him. Manages to get by Bordage, but not Baker. Baker met by Carriere. Ball lands in just in front of the Quebec bench, or Nova Scotia bench as Wolf comes down. He takes a shot, but it's blocked by Bernard. Bernard's still on top of him. Wolf throws it down low for Bordage. Bernard cuts him off, and it's out off McMillan, and it's going to be a Quebec free hit. I think we need to get the referee some coffee, as Jay thought that was a Nova Scotia ball.
But again, you had mentioned earlier, sometimes the refs point at the team as opposed to the direction that they want the ball to go.
Free hit taken by Godin to Laporte, and quickly back to Godin. He tries to cut it to the middle, but Bordage gets a stick on it. Dupont takes it back. Bordage is in front of him as long as Wolf. Here's Field with it now. Field gives it to Wolf. His pass is intercepted, not fully though, as Bordage tries to get his shot off. Few sticks in the way. Dupont goes into the corner. He's double teamed by Field and Wolf there. Wolf wins it back, but Rivet puts it ahead for Dupont. Dupont comes away with it, despite Wolf being down there first. Bordage pulls it away from him. Shreve gives it to Wolf.
You were predicting the future now. You knew that pass was coming.
Well, they play together, and they're 7 and 17, and they got similar hairstyles, and from up here, they're about the same height, so...
You know, I can tell them apart. One's got black shoes, one's got white shoes.
Field with it now. He gives it to Wolf in his feet. Tam in to help out. Wolf has Laporte on him. He's looking for Field. Oh, got it to him just on the wrong side of his body. Field back to Shreve. Over to Tam. Tam fires it low for Wolf. Wolf's got Laporte on top of him. Laporte comes away with it, trying to send Rivet. It ends up going down to McCauley, who gives it to Lee. Mario tells us that it's the last minute of the first period here. Bronze medal game. 1-0 for lead for Team Nova Scotia. Wolf trying to work his way through, but he gets the advantage call, so works in his favor either way. Field taps it for Tam, who gets the shot off and hits Godin. Godin has no idea where it is. It's with Abba. He throws it up the middle. Field blocks it, but it doesn't go the way the Field wants, and ends up back in the Quebec corner. Quebec ball, as that ball went out off Bordage. On the ball down to Oliveira. He's got Tam all over him. Trying to work his way out into the middle here, but I don't think he's going to make that happen. He drops it back for Curion, who is picked off by Lee. Curion tries to fight his way through, ends up taking out the net.
Very, very polite of him to fix the net himself after he knocked it off.
Oh. Quick free hit. Big save by Landry on Wolf.
Kind of surprised that didn't get blown down, as Nova Scotia set it up and played it quickly, but I don't think it was in the right spot where the referee had signaled.
Six seconds left here. Wolf tries to go down low to Bordage. Throws it out in front, and Tam gets the goal to make it 2-0, and Tam scores with 1.4 seconds left.
Franklin made a nice play blocking the pass behind the net, but you almost would have wanted that pass behind the net because it came right back to the Nova Scotia player who fed it out front, and that's who the open player was for the goal. If it goes behind the net, they probably don't get anything out of it.
No.
It's just weird that you defend behind the net instead of the front of the net. But 2-0 Nova Scotia.
Not a gym guy. And with that, the first period comes to close. Nova Scotia 2, Quebec 0. Comparing notes on face-off tactics are Field and Carriere.
The veteran helping out the youngster. Good to see.
Each summer, floorball stars from around the world align with one goal: to lift the Troy Cup. 6 teams, 1 prize. This is the NAFL.
Setting up their offense deep in enemy territory. And it works! The shot attempt is good! Driving down, it's good! It was off the wall. Connor, the pass to Linda, it's good! Fjord to Nilsson, unbelievable!
back for period number 2. Let's see if Fields of Ice pays off for Carrier here against Curry, as does not Field taking the face-off. 2-0 for Team Nova Scotia, and Curry gets the draw. He wins it back to Lee, who tries to put it over to McQueen. Bernard has stepped up on him. Carrier now comes back, gives it over to Wright. He goes up the middle. Lee swings it in front. It ends up in... Oh, my goodness! Right off the bad bounce as Lee tried to spin it behind. It went off Carrier's stick. Ended up on the sky ball and on the stick of Wright. And he put it past McCauley. And we've got a game on our hands here. And then again, we're within that first minute of a period starting. We have another goal.
So Quebec must have had a pretty good powwow there between periods, as they were able to come out and, after giving up a goal with just over a second left, able to get back to a 1-goal game here. And that was their third line.
Yeah.
They haven't been counted on for a lot of offense.
Dupont to take the face-off here against Curry again, I believe. Yep, and Dupont wins it back clean to Lepore. He goes to Godin. Up the wall, back to Dupont. He's cut off by Robichaud. Lee and Rivet battling for position behind the net. Lee uses his speed to come out on top with it, but Perron takes it away from him, tries to poke it to Rivet. Swept away by Curry. McQueen down low, behind his own net. Haven't seen him back there too much. Usually he's behind the opponent's net. McCauley reels it in and decides to go with Lee here.
Trying to be a 200-foot player, or what is it, floorball? 80 meters?
40 meters.
40 meters.
40-meter player. So I think it was a Swedish or a Swiss coach that said to me it's actually 80 meters because you have to run both ways. And we have a free hit coming out of here. Kerrigan taken down by Dupont. Curry with the quick free hit. And Lepore comes out of the corner with it against McQueen. Shreve knocks that down out of the air, as does Dupont. Curry stops his run though and heads up the wall. His line mates are changing, so he feeds it off to Wolf, who scores off a funny bounce. I was surprised he was able to get all of it on that shot, and we're back to a 2-goal deficit for Team Quebec, and it's 3-1 for Nova Scotia.
Again, Nova Scotia able to answer the goal by Montreal with a goal of their own. Only a minute and 10 seconds after giving up the first Montreal goal. A good answer there, as Wolf picked up that loose ball in the slot and buried it in the top shelf.
I was impressed that he was able to take the bounce from his backhand to his forehand and get it all off in one motion, because that's been a challenge for most players today. Frankman over to Kirion, who tries to go long for Oliveira. Shreve challenges him. Oliveira with the shot, saved by McCauley, but he didn't know he made the save. Burdage trying to go to McMillan. Kirion comes up with it, chips it over Burdage. Tries to go by Shreve. Puts it down low when McCauley comes away with it. And we have some sort of whistle and a free hit for Team Quebec. Ball's pushed back to Abba by Oliveira on the free hit. He comes flying in. Shot blocked by Lee. Baker chips it off the wall for McMillan. McMillan has Bordage coming with him. He tries to throw it in front, but it goes through everybody. Frankman's first to the ball. He brings it back. He goes over to Pear. He brings it up. Lee uses his long legs and stick to get in the way of that. Wolf chips it up to McMillan. He's out there alone. High sticking the ball called, and a free hit for Team Quebec.
That last whistle was Lee had gone off, got either a stick or an elbow in the head. Standing up on the bench though, seems to be okay, ready to go back out for Nova Scotia.
Damn, stick handling and spinning. Goes back to Wolf. He's being challenged by Oliveira, and Kieron's up front there too. Oliveira almost got the ball away from Wolf, and he almost has. And we have a free hit for Nova Scotia, as there was some stick-on-stick contact there. Wolf goes to Tam. Tam's waiting. Moves up and gives it to Field. Back to Tam. Drops for Field. He goes for the long pass for Wolf, just out of his reach. Wolf puts it in the center, but no one's there to follow up. Lee running back now. Right in front again. Oh, just poked away by Tam. Right, almost had a second opportunity there. Field gives it over to Bordage. He reels it back to Tam, who walks around Mycrest and goes down low to Fields, who's going to be challenged here by Bernard. Field tries to go to Wolf, but it's actually Quebec that comes away with it as it took a funny bounce off the backboard. Lee being given time and space by Quebec here, takes advantage of it. Hits Wolf up the middle. He gets the shot off. Oh, quite the shot there with coverage. Landry makes the save.
That was a great play by Wolf, able to shield the ball and then get a shot.
Goes off Bernard there, and Wild gets a free hit in the corner here. Tam in motion, but he actually goes to Bordage, who's covered by Bernard. Bordage battling with Bernard. He comes away with it. Mycrest now double teamed and gets the free hit. Lapour to take the free hit. He goes to his defensive partner, Godin, back to Lapour. Trying to get Wolf to bite on something here. He goes long. Oh!
Lucky.
No penalty this time.
That's what I was thinking, Rivet.
I think it was deemed unintentional. Tam. Back to Fields. Lee. Down low for Wolf, just out of his way.
Had to be
Godin
careful
messing
not to
around
pass
with it.
that to the goaltender.
Dupont comes away. Tam trying to go to Berdage. Godin with it. He gets knocked down. And a free hit for Team Quebec. Dupont over to Perrin. He's wide. McCauley can't handle the bounce though. Wild off the wall to Tam. Tam turns when presented with the threat of Dupont and goes back behind his net.
9:40 to go here. Nova Scotia still hanging on to a 2-1 lead in our bronze medal game. Montreal looking to keep the pressure on, keep the score close so they can make a run here.
Nova Scotia starting to change here. Tam, who seems to have legs for days, looking for Kerrigan. He loses it to Dupont. Dupont in the middle to Lapour. Rivet, stopped by Lee. He puts it into the corner. It's picked off by Dupont. But Curry now pushes it ahead for Kerrigan. Kerrigan is double teamed by Dupont and Godin. And we end up with a Quebec free hit. Godin to Dupont. Kerrigan on him. He backs off as Dupont carries in front of his net. He gives it to Godin. As Perry comes on into the middle. Chops it over to Abbas, who gives it back to Perret. Got some nice ball movement here from Team Quebec. Oliveira loses the handle though. Creating some space for himself. He finds Kirion. Back to Oliveira. Kerrigan though gets the stop. And now he's going the other way. Makes a bit of a move. Puts it on net. Landry with the toe save. Tries to go in front to Lightning McQueen, who pulls it down. Oh! He's tangled up with Abba. Oliveira now. His shot hits Kirion.
High stick.
And a free hit for Team Nova Scotia.
I don't think Quiron expected that ball to be hitting him in the chest area.
No, I think he thought it was going to come in lower.
It was just a reaction that he put his stick up.
Lee catches Bordage. That ball goes off the wall and back the other way is Kirion. He finds Oliveira. Shreve steps up on him and Baker, who was covering back, gives it up for McMillan. McMillan spins, hits the defender. Wolf now on Shreve. Gets the shot off. Oh! The ball bounced over to
Baker.
Baker.
Landry read that well. I think he took that in the mask.
I'm surprised he knew where it was because I lost track of it when it hit whoever it hit. Carry on. Behind the net. Turns away. Pair being chased by Bordage. Bordage on carry on. Wolf misses with his leg. Oliveira now looked for the sweet shot, but he pulls back. Fires that wrist shot into the legs of McCauley. That almost squeaked through.
He took a look behind him.
Oh, Baker managed to get it close to the net, but Bernard cut him off. Who fires it down. Shreve. He fires it over to Wolf. To Bordage. Quebec carries it in. Paul gets it in the chest, but it's stolen by Wolf. Wolf now, surveying what's in front of him.
I really like how the Nova Scotia D-men take their time bringing the ball up. They're never in any rush. They've got their head up. They're surveying the play, looking to make the right pass.
Which is unusual from a younger team in a tournament like this, as generally speaking, they're all just go, go, go. Pass in front for Wolf was on his backhand. He didn't get all of it. Right now being challenged by Bordage. He puts it into the feet of Carriere. Bordage has it. He spins it in front. No one was quite there. Wolf gets the steal. Shot on net, blocked by Cadagil. Wolf down low to Bordage. Bordage sweeps and almost hits our photographer Gabriel. He seems completely unfazed. Just a hazard of the job, I guess.
Either that or he completely didn't see it and was taking a picture and the ball whizzed by his head.
Lepore carrying it up. Challenged by Bordage. He gives it over to Dupont. He's got Wolf on him. Now he's got Bordage and Wolf. Back to Godin. Godin down to Dupont. He muffs it and Wolf comes away with it, though Perron is challenging him behind the net. Not giving him any time to breathe. 5:20 left in this second period, and the ball bounces off Bordage's stick as he tried to feed it back to Fields. And
he looks to Fields. He goes, I didn't mean to do that.
No. And Fields just waves him off like it happens. This ball's been bouncing all weekend. I get why players would be frustrated by it, but I think the surprise and shock should be over by now.
And it's the same for both teams, right?
Yeah.
It's not like it's, nice and smooth for one team, but then only bounces for the other. So both teams are playing with the same set of circumstances.
If you've ever played ice hockey in a small Ontario town, then you know what it's like to have a hometown advantage. That doesn't exist in floorball.
Although, could be said that when you're for 3 periods, you're constantly going the same way, you might find that the court plays differently on one side or the other.
Yes.
That's why in our international competitions, they switch sides.
And speaking of their international competition, tomorrow, to make it completely fair, Team Canada will start on the right side and Team US on the left. Kerrigan now with it. Laporte's lost his stick. Oliveira. And we're going to have a whistle here. Advantage. Stick contact, I'm guessing. And a free hit from Team Nova Scotia here with 4:23 left in the second period. Tam stepping up to take it, almost guaranteed at that point. Tam shot in, deflected by McQueen, but that's out and wide.
Team Quebec questioning just to make sure it's their ball before they go get it, set it up.
Frankman walking it up, surveying, finds Oliveira. Frankman's joining the rush. It goes back to a boss. Over to Kieran. Pops over his stick a little, and now Kerrigan's on top of him. He goes back to his partner. He goes long to Frankman, who goes back to Oliveira.
They've kind of switched positions.
Oh, Oliveira stepped on it or something. Lost his handle
playing-
for a second.
Frankman playing up on the wing and Olivier back on the defense area.
That's going to be Nova Scotia ball.
Now they'll get the switch as they lose possession.
Carry on, as there was some confusion there. Fires it in the middle, Lee. Kerrigan finds McQueen, but it's a little too far behind him in his legs. Nice little move, though. Comes in, shot is wide. Kerrigan's going to pick it up here. Over to McQueen. Saved by Landry. Bouncing ball, challenging for everyone here. Lee spins and shoots, and we got an interference call. And it's going to be free hit Quebec.
Another late whistle there as Team Nova Scotia got a scoring chance just as the whistle went.
Carry on off the free hit, back to Frankman. 3:13 left in this second period. Kirion shot in net. Oh, nice save by Macaulay through a bunch of screens. That's the second or third time now that Quebec's tried the long screen shot. It's almost worked for them a few times. Macaulay's made a couple saves now where he didn't even realize that it had hit him. Kirion drops it to Perry on the free hit. Bordage steps up on him. Lee trying to outrun Oliveira. Oliveira comes up with it. He spins. Stops, loses the ball. Bernard picks it up. Advantage given to Quebec. Oliveira spins it back around to Kieran. Bordage now with it as Lee wings it out to him. Bordage puts it down low with McMillan. Drops it for Baker. He loses it. Bordage. Robichaud back to help out. Mycrest almost got it. McMillan loses it. Mycrest has it. Mycrest takes a shot and it's deflected wide by the stick of, I believe, Lee? I think that was, but...
A lot of fans still here in attendance for cheering there for Paul to get a goal. One of the veterans of...
If Paul gets a goal here, I think Quebec wins this. Based purely on the pure motivation. Yep. And now a free hit for Nova Scotia as Quebec took too long.
First one of those we've seen called today.
all weekend, actually.
Yeah, I definitely thought there was a couple times where it could have been called.
I agree, but so far that's the first one. Wolf over to Bordage. He loses the handle on it. Remembers he's got to bring the white thing with him. Nice little handle there. Field is calling for it. Landry makes the save and gobbles up the rebound. He goes out to his right to Lepore. 150-ish left in the second period here as Lepore regains composure for Team Quebec behind his own net. Trying to figure out what he wants to do with this ball here. Wolf finally starting to pressure. Bordage also trying to cut him off as well. Wolf on top of him now. Lepore. Free hit for Nova Scotia. A warning issued to Quebec about the push. Bordage and Wolf to take this free hit. Bordage to Wolf. Wolf to Wolf. Back to Wolf again. Bordage down low. Sweeps it to Field. Who gives it to Bordage. He thought about maybe a Michigan or something there. He rolled his hands. He tries to go to Field, but it's picked off by Wright. Wright fires it off the far wall, but it's picked up by Wolf. Wolf tries to get the shot off, but it's blocked by Wright. Mario shows up again. Frank with the bilingual announcement, as always. Wright picked by Wolf. Field now. Gets it through, but it's blocked by Carrier. And that's going to be a Nova Scotia free hit with 42 seconds left in this second period.
Nova Scotia scored a late goal in the first period. See if they can do it again and add to their current 2-goal advantage.
Lee fumbles it and has Reveille on him. I don't think he realizes. Perron's on Tam here. Tam now on being chased by Reveille. He gets it to Kerrigan. Tam goes far side to Lightning McQueen. He's got about 20 seconds. Let's see if he does something with it. He goes low to Kerrigan. Field comes up with it. Whacks at the loose ball. Kerrigan. Oh, it's loose. Landry couldn't grab it, but his defense helped him out. Lee stops the advance of the Quebec team as Kerrigan tries to go the other way with it. 7 seconds left. Tam hits Kerrigan, who gives it to Field across crease. What a pass and finish by Lightning McQueen. And as per the request of his family, ka-chow.
Wow. We had just talked about them scoring a late goal possibly, and Team Quebec couldn't get possession, and Nova Scotia able to score this time with 2.4 seconds on the clock. It was 1.4 in the first period, so they could just play every period like it's the last minute. They'd be well on their way here.
Rebound for Spain. And with 2.4 seconds, DuPont and Field to take this face-off. Field with the win to Kerrigan, and he just tries to hold Rivet off to get us to the buzzer. 15 minutes left in this bronze medal game. What started off as a tight contest has turned into a bit of a lead for runaway here for Team Nova Scotia as they have a 4-1 lead. The big question is can they hold it for the last 15 minutes?
Each summer, floorball stars from around the world align with one goal: to lift the Troy Cup. 6 teams, 1 prize. This is the NAFL.
Setting up their offense deep in enemy territory. And it works! The shot attempt is good! Driving down, it's good! It was off the wall. Connor, the pass to Linda, it's good! Fjord to Nilsson, unbelievable!
"30 minutes in the book here in the bronze medal game in the men's national championship. Nova Scotia with a 4-1 lead over Team Quebec. 15 minutes remaining as that ball slid in on goaltender McCauley. Nova Scotia with 2 late goals, 1 in each period, to help establish this lead.
Carry on with the ball here. Over to Kerr. Frankman in front, can't get the rebound though. And it's knocked away by Team Nova Scotia, but regained by Kerr as he fires it out to Kirion. That's wide as well. I think you're right here, Stu. Oliveira seems to be hanging back more, letting Frankman do some of the work up front.
Quebec's only goal came early in the second period. Let's see if they can do the same thing here in the third, close the gap to 2 goals.
Oliveira has it stripped from him by Robichaud. He's still on his case though. Now Oliveira has it. Put in front. Team Nova Scotia clears. Abbas puts it back into Oliveira. Fired wide. Not by much though. Kerr manages to make some space. Gets it out to Kirion on the far side. McMillan's watching him. Still these two. Drops it back to Abbas. He goes back to, oh, sorry, excuse me, that's Kerr now. He turns it over to Bordage.
Good stick there by Bordage.
Oh!
And gets rewarded.
That
He made the whole play start, intercepting the pass, and then gets rewarded by scoring.
And that ball had some curve to it. I don't think Landry had much of an opportunity there. The Nova Scotia women here cheering on their male counterparts are enjoying their goal song being played as often as it is. Field with the win.
This lead's starting to get
Insurmountable, I would say.
For Quebec. I don't know if they can muster 4 goals to get back in this game. That's going to be a tough order for them.
Time to go, 13 minutes, 42 seconds.
Field calls for Wolf to drop back. He feeds it to him in front of his own net, and he's cut off by Mycroft and Carriere.
Oh, they do seem to be pressing here. So trying to force the issue, force Nova Scotia's D into mistakes.
Wolf turns it back, looking for his brother. Bernard chops that into the Quebec bench. Free hit here for Bernard to Chatagal. Some confusion on the Quebec bench about who's coming on and when. Bernard back to Carriere. Carriere holding. Puts it up to the middle. Wolf picks it off. Perron comes away with it. Carriere again. Wolf comes away with it. Over to Bordage, and it is now 6-1. And based on the faces of Team Quebec.
That wasn't even fair.
Yeah.
That pass came across, and Bordage just hammered it into the top shelf. Landry came across, but he just had no chance.
No chance, and it all started with the turnover down by the beginning of the Nova Scotian bench.
Usually how goals happen in turnovers, right?
Especially in a fast-paced game like floorball. Team Quebec with the win. For those of you who are watching us, oh, sorry Frank, cut you off there.
Free hit for Nova Scotia here at half.
And yes, for those of you who are watching this and not the Leaf game, Matthews has a hat trick tonight in a 7-1 lead over the Anaheim Ducks. Oh, bit of a collision. Lepore, shoulder to shoulder with Curry. Loose ball in front, Reve. Pointing at Lee asking for a call from the referee. None happening though.
Because he doesn't have a stick, that's why. Trying to argue that goaltender McCauley took his stick out of his hand.
Free hit by Tam to Lee. Rivet hard onto him. Tam now comes out from behind his own net. Rivet intercepts that pass. Tangled up with Tam.
Referee apologizing for calling the advantage too early. Free hit for Dupont. He winds up and fires it over the net. Got all of that though.
Yeah. Everything and everything.
Yeah, ball don't lie there. Dupont, if he had scored, then would have been a true error by the referee, but
Lepore knocks it down. Kerrigan almost puts it in. McQueen challenged by Godin. They're in the corner now. Godin still on McQueen. Lepore getting a little aggressive there.
he was actually running into the player that didn't have the ball. So he ran into McQueen. McQueen had already passed it off.
Olivier now trying to find Pear. Picks up the loose ball off of McQueen's stick. Tries to fire it back to Godin, but it ends up on the stick of Baker, who passes over to Kerrigan. Kerrigan finds a streaky McKillen. Oh. And we have a call of some kind.
Might have been a handball.
No, we got a push.
Cup.
Blocked by Carry On in the wall there. Baker pokes it to Bordeaux, though. Quebec thought the ball was going the other way, and it's in the back of their net.
I was going to ask why McMillan tried to drill it through 4 players set up in a wall, but ends up it worked out as the ball squirted loose and Nova Scotia capitalizes.
It went to Baker in the corner, and he just kind of poked at it, and as Quebec moved forward, no one was there to gather it, and Bordeaux just said thank you and put it in the back of the net. Landry had absolutely zero chance. His entire squad had left him prematurely. Robichaud off the draw here, has it in his feet. Oliviera on him hard. Carrion tries to pick that off. Bordage over to McMillan. He turns into Pear and turns into nothing. Oliviera down the wall to Pear, but he didn't know it was coming, so Lee has turned it back. He puts it into the corner for McMillan. Abbas off of McMillan's foot. Baker puts it into the middle for Lee. That goes wide.
Landry didn't even see that. He just tried to take up as much space as he could and hoped it hit him, and it went wide.
Oliviera now coming back, but Baker beats him to it. Bordage cycles down low for him. Robichaud wide open in front. Bought by Frankman. Oliviera trying to control it, but it's Baker. And that goes off a Quebec player's stick. Either Pear or a boss.
10:03 to go here in the third period. Nova Scotia looks to be well in control of picking up the bronze medal in this national championship competition on the men's side.
A 7-1 lead here. This is a much different game than what you and I witnessed this morning between these two squads.
This is actually the least close game we've seen since the opening game between Quebec and Ontario. Every other game has been
Pretty
one-goal
tight.
game.
Yeah, 1 to 2 goals.
And this game was like that early on, and it wasn't until the late goal at the end of the first for
Caddijo
Nova
with
Scotia.
it. Over to Bernard. He finds Carrier, chased down by Wolf. He goes back to Bernard. Bernard moving up with it. Doesn't have a lane. Bordage is all over him. Right with it now. Fields on him. He tries to find Carrier, sort of does. He was just moving the wrong direction. Bernard, last man back with Field on him. Field gets to the ball first. Now he's got Bernard all draped all over him. Takes it behind his opponent's net. Trying to create something with it here. Cuts back. Still no real options, so he goes back to the point with Wolf. Wolf drops it to Bordage, gets the sweeper shot off. Oh, and he connects with the shin of Cadagil. And that's got to hurt. Cadagil walking it off. Might have been contact with his taped up knees there. Face off. In front of the Secretariat table here. Field to take it against Wright, it looks like. And Nova Scotia gives it back to Quebec. Got to end with it now. Up the far wall to Laporte, who comes streaking by. Oh, he tried to find Paul McCrest there. Paul just going to get a stick on it.
That was his chance right there.
That was his chance. I don't
Left
know if he'll
open.
get another one.
Left open wide out.
Bordage curls that really well, gets it up to Wolf. Just a little too far ahead of him. Carrier back checks on Fields there, as well as Mycrest. Field walking into the middle. Laporte gets a stick on it. McCrest packs it back to Carrier, who pokes it ahead to right. You just can't corral it completely. Field takes it from Mycrest. Godin goes in front. Landry, it hits him, but he can't corral it. It comes off him a little funny. Field trying to slow that ball down. Gives it back to Shreve, who comes flying in off the point. He tries to go low to Wolf, but it's intercepted by Laporte. No one's up there for Quebec, though, so Wolf turns and surveys, goes to his brother. Wolf tries to put it in for Shreve, and now it's Wolf and Revere. Revere ends up on his backside somehow.
Both players went down.
Bouncing ball through the middle of Laporte, goes to the middle, and Revere buries. And we've got a 7-2 game here with 7.5 minutes left.
Nice setup by Laporte. McCauley thought Laporte was going to shoot, and he found Rive out in front, and a whole empty net for him to put it in.
Referee's having a conversation about something here.
So Quebec not giving up, still pushing here. I don't know if there'll be enough time. 7:35 to go, down by 5.
A goal a minute gets them the win. Dupont with the face-off win back to Frankman. Has his pocket picked though by Kerrigan. Returns the favor, Rivet over to Perron. In on McCauley. He gives it to Tam. Curry on Dupont here. Cuts to the middle. Tries to go to his forehand, but loses it to Dupont. It's given away to Perron. McCauley with the save. Rivet couldn't follow up on the rebound. Kerrigan doesn't know what's in his feet. He goes across to McQueen, but Abbas was there. Lee steps up on Perron, but he just puts it into the corner, and Tam reels back across to his partner. Back to Tam. Chased by Dupont and Perron. Tam up the wall to Curry. He's met by Perret. Curry goes back to Tam. Team Nova Scotia relying heavily on the defenseman here to keep things under control and moving in the right direction. Curry with a nice little move around Perret. Ends up falling. Kerrigan with the shot on net. Landry the save. And he goes for the easy out to his right there in Abbas. Who fires it up the middle to Curon. He loses the handle. Lee to Kerrigan. He's got Pear on him. He goes back to Tam. Tam works his way down low. Oh, dangles himself out of a box. And Pear hits Frankman with it, and it's in Kerrigan's hands now. He goes to the middle to Tam, who just misses the net wide. Baker with another little tap, puts it on the far side. Pear to carry on. He's got Oliviera on the far side. Holds for Pear. He puts it on net, saved by McCauley, and then ends up going out in the Quebec free hit with 5:37 left in this final period.
Nova Scotia looked to slow the game down there that last shift, with Tam just playing it back and forth with Lee.
Oliviera in the corner now, looking for somebody. Finds Lepore, but it goes through him. Carry on instead. Tries to go to Pair. Stopped by Bardage recently. Robichaud steps up. Ball ends up in the middle. Lee loses it in his feet. He has Lepore on his back. And the ball goes to Macaulay. He goes to Lee in the corner. He's challenged by Oliviera. And Curon. Not sure what the call is going to be.
Lee goes down hard there. He was injured in the first game. That's another thing that we didn't talk about with missing Field and Tam in that first game. They also lost Lee for most of the game with that injury.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to come back from. Imagine if they had him for the full game as well.
He kind of took the role of that Tam has taken in that first game with being minus Tam. Oliviera, the nice little move there. Being followed by McMillan. He goes over to Lepore. Bardage comes in on him. Lepore makes a move to the outside. Throws it into the middle, but no one's there. Godin steps up to fill the hole. Blocked by Bardage. 4:35 left here. Quebec is pressing. It's a long haul, but it's doable. Oliviera takes the ball away from McMillan in his own end, and he breaks out towards the Nova Scotia net. That shot is blocked. Baker knocks it away. McMillan now going all in on his own here. He's chasing down Wright as he lost the ball slightly. Wright gives it over to Oliviera. He head back the other way. Wolf stands his ground. Makes him think about what he wants to do. He finds Godin. Shreve waves off Bordage. It ends up down low with Prate and Shreve on top of him. We're going to get a call against Shreve. Free hit for Quebec.
Macaulay asking for time as he's got an equipment issue. He's got to tie his shoe. The referee grants it to him. Make sure you double knot those. Don't want those to come undone again.
Oh, ball thrown in front. Corralled by Wolf. After having a quick scare there as it hit his foot funny. 3:50 left in the third period. Field behind his own net. Being chased by Carriere. He goes to Wolf, who goes back to Field. He's got some momentum now, and Wolf in the middle. Franklin breaks that up.
Wolf's stick ended up in the net. Does that count as any extra points?
Oh, Bordage almost in the exact same position. I think when you're winning, it doesn't. If you were losing, maybe. Frankman taking the free hit here. 3:33 left. The boss goes off the wall to Carriere. He's stopped by Field, but it ends up with Frankman. Stopped by Field again. Goes to Bardage. Field calls for it, but it's split up. Frankman knocks it ahead. Tries to go through Shreve with brute force. Doesn't work. Wolf takes a shot. It hits somebody in front. Wolf and Field on Carriere. Field comes up with it. He's got Bordage to his left. And Wolf behind the net, and he chooses that option. Wolf puts it out in front. Field gets a stick on it. Landry makes 2 saves. Goes to Abbas with the easy exit. Loses it to Wolf. Wright tries to come up with it, but it's actually Bordage. Field takes a shot and just whiffs it into Godin. The long ball for Wright is stopped by Shreve. Field holds, leaves it for Bordage. Shreve retreats. Bordage still has it. Showing off a bit of his handles here. Wolf down low. Quebec doesn't really seem to be biting at any of that hand motion, though. Too experienced for that. Shreve chases the ball back. He's got Wright in front of him, but a bit of time and space. And he fires it over the board by accident. Dupont with 2 minutes left. Perron. Shreve. Behind the net to Wolf. Watched closely by the 2 Quebec attackers. We have a push Rivet. Wolf. In the corner, gives it to Field.
Then goes for a run. Gets it back, too.
DuPont from behind almost picks his pocket. Lepore gets hit with something. And Landry goes long. No call on the missed bounce, and Quebec ends up scoring off of it. Quebec will take it.
Referees might discuss this, though. They're getting together. I'm looking over at the Montreal bench while this is going on. Steph Laporte kind of bent over at the waist.
I think he got a ball or stick in the stomach area.
Player's ready to face off, and the referee's not ready yet. He's going to stand there for a long time at the face-off.
Win by Curry.
So that was a short discussion from the refs. They're going to let that goal score, and it's 7-3.
We'll have to show them the film afterwards. Oh, an uncharacteristic giveaway by Tam. Curry leaves it for Lee. Kerr. Oh, we have a face-off. Contact on the referee. Minute 13 left in this game, 7-3. Unless Quebec scores right now, I think this is still in the books. Oh, Frankman blocks it and then slides. Oliveira leaves it for Kerr. Over to carry on. 1 minute left. Thank you, Mario. Bernard. Blocked by Curry. McQueen doesn't have the gas left in his tires to make it over to Bernard in time. Carry on, tries to put it on net. Oliveira being chased down by Shreve. Oliveira comes away with it. Still being watched by Shreve. Goes to Kerr in front. Tam turns it away. Bernard back down low to Curion. Out front. Kerr knifes it. 30 seconds left now. Curion tries to go through his legs. Tam comes up with it. It ends up with Shreve, or Lee, sorry. Frankman knocks it down, but can't get the shot off. 17 seconds left. Kerrigan now. Cuts to the middle. He's going to go for it. Oh, tries to make the pass. 10 seconds left. Curry beats Oliveira to the ball. We've got a Quebec free hit. And 8 seconds left. Let's see what they do with it. Over to Kerr. Oh, in front. Saved by McCauley on the line. And he's going to hold on to it. And with that, Team Nova Scotia will bring home the bronze medal from the 2020-24 Men's Floorball Canada National Championship.
Yeah, great performance by this young Nova Scotia team. Remember, last time I saw a Nova Scotia team at Canada Cup, I don't think they won a game. So, for them to go 3-1 here at this, 2-1-1 at this championship. And as we spoke, great game against BC, a tie against Ontario that if it wasn't for goal differential would have put them in the final. Nothing to take away from this veteran Quebec squad. They came out, they battled against every team, got better as the tournament went on.
And both squads did this with only one goalie.
Absolutely.
Which is a tough ask in a tournament that requires you, especially tonight, have you playing 3 games. And now we go down to Frank at the Secretariat.
Le joueur du match pour le Québec, le 9, Guillaume Rivet.
Guillaume Rivet, player of the game for Team Quebec, a great tournament as well. One of the top scorers for Team Quebec.
For Team Nova Scotia, number 18, Ryan Tam.
Ryan Tam for Team Nova Scotia. 3 games in one day for him as he arrived this morning.
Definitely worth the flight for him then.
Absolutely. Both teams being presented with commemorative Floorball Canada
Gitch bags, always good things to have. And now for the handshakes. And with this being the last game of the night, big shout out to all of our volunteers, referees, and Sarah behind the scenes here, keeping us live and on the feed here. So we'll see you all tomorrow for 2 gold medal games and then the big game of the qualifiers for Canada and USA.
9 o'clock start, Ontario, Nova Scotia women's, and then 10:30, Ontario, BC men's final, and then the qualifier game as you mentioned.
And with that, good night.